If
Right, how we doing? I've not streamed in a long time. I think it's been last stream was beginning of December, I think. Setting up my stuff in such a way that I could see stuff. At least that's a one. If anyone's just looking around in the chat, do send a message. I want to make sure that my chat thing is working. Finally have got ultra wide. Don't know if I'm talking to myself or not. But got ultra wide, so we instead of struggling with one monitor, a third of the ultra wide is used for being used for to see the chat and control OBS. I think that's a good split for the music. Okay, yeah. Let's get on with it. They're not away. This would be a way for me to see my there we go. Where did that go? I need that. One second. Where is that? Yes, it's me. Ah, okay. 1 second. Da, da. Da, da, da. Okay, nice. I can see who's looking and that kind of information. Let's go. See how small my chat? There are 3 of you looking in here. I really have to switch across to my phone to be able to know how the chat works. Just put a letter or something. Make sure I can see myself. Oh, I can send a message. I'm gonna chat over. What's that about? Okay, okay. Probably people have been talking and it has not been popping up. Anyway, let's get Dun, dun. Let's get on with some dev stuff. Uh, so that's really, really tiny. Please? Nah, but first time streaming in a while. Just setting up the stream and just wanna know like how my the chat and stuff like that looks. Just stream with like new equipment. Okay, and now seeing my dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm now seeing the chat thing now popped up. Yeah, yeah. All right. Awesome. Oh, dude, I sent you a message on IG. Think you'll love it. Think you'll like it a lot. You'll read it and let me know when you get the time. Yeah. So, we should be seeing Microsoft Word. Yeah, that's we should be seeing Microsoft Word there. And continuing along the game concept, last time we finished about here. First couple waves, and with the basic enemies, we did the tutorial walk and shoot section, and we developed the first waves basic enemies. That is what build 2. If you go to the description of this stream, you would find the if you go to the description of this stream, you would find the link to play the last build of the game, build 0.2. It would take you to the website and you could be able to play it. Once you're on Windows, you'll be able to play the demo build of the game. Most recent demo build of the game, which is we are here. And now we have to finish all the way to here. So today I was thinking I'm just going to do a little bit of prototyping, some extra prototyping of the second wave, and actually finish off the it'll come to me, hold on. Finish up this section that I started with the satellites. That's the plan. So let's run it.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to get roughed out this month, and also to make the AI smarter, so that they can attack both, and also to get the one that is not being like chased or the one you're not controlling, so that the AI would start a fire for itself. That'd be a fun system to implement.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
But yeah, bro, no problem. I just don't know if you got to read the message when I sent when I sent it, it said you were last online like I think 16 to 20 hours ago. It's a rather lengthy doc, so but it's not like a today for tomorrow thing. Is like whenever you get the time, you check it out. Whether it's this week, next month, whatever. Huh. Oh. Definitely, partially just for this section, what I want to roughen is like different enemy types. So some enemies take more damage from Kaylee, and then other enemies take more damage from Alex. So like there's some enemies that would take like in a sense be fire resistant. So they would take less way less damage. And you would have to switch to Kaylee to take them down. And then there would be others that are bulletproof. So you'd have to use they're bulletproof but they're not flameproof. So you'll have to use Pinkspade to take them down. No, yeah, Flameshot to take them down. Somebody got bugged. We have some bugs we still need to iron. Wait, how did you spawn all the way over there? It's you know. My word. How did I end up all the way over there? That should be it. Yeah, it works as intended. Let's check these. If I click this, I think this works. So yeah, you can get the comic directly from the thing, and I think if I click this, it should take them to the page to share feedback. Yeah, straight to the page to share feedback. Awesome, that works. Works it still works as intended. It is working as intended, gladly. I want to do, yeah, whatever. No, they're just Kaylee and Pinkspade, because this is heavily based off of Parables issue 4. That was Kaylee and Pinkspade only issue. That's why I'm doing it as a top down shooter, because it was based on Kaylee and Pinkspade. That's the one where they run through the jungle to, yeah, where they run through the jungle. Yeah. So issue 4 is one where they run through the where they went on the mission to take down Robotron's Fortress thing. It was just the two of them in that entire comic. My dream one day is to make like a Ultimate Alliance style, full Ultimate Alliance style Remnant game. That's not a today dream. That's like a years and proper development and all consoles kind of dream. Okay, so tonight I wanna see if I could roughly system. I think I might try that. Oh, let me show you my next thing that I've been working on in this since you're here. That might be cool. Well, actually, the background wallpaper is actually rotating images of different the different comics. Cover. Might like this. This pause is. I mentioned it in our Discord. Don't think you're in a Discord, but I'll show you this. Uh, uh, one of the guys from the Discord and I, well, we started working on. My goal is to get my first video game, actual full-fledged video game, out on Steam this year. It's called Intercession. It's called Intercession, and it's based off of a character that this guy. I mentioned it in one of my Remnant videos on if I were to have like a Remnant character or like a Remnant cameo character, what this is what I would like him to look like. Alright, guys, what, coming back quick? Give me a second, I'm gonna check somebody in the living room quickly there. Be right back, entertain the stream, coming back. Okay, I am back. Don't know if anyone's alive. Okay, back. Let's continue. I kind of want to implement a shooting mechanic for close. Is that close? Hold on. That I had to think about that and do a sketch of that before I do the on stream. Let's continue where our landscape is going. So I have a plan. I have a plan. On after this, I want to do after this section, we're doing strong enemies. So gonna make a next area, but I wanna like sort of like kind of like an indoor something. So where to break this off? So we're doing another door. Doors. Those are our main. His doors are good. Those are our main form of walls, barriers, where you need to go, stuff like that. Let's actually make these destroyable things. So one takes heat. Yeah, so one could only take heat. Then I'll let me actually do that because that was the purpose of this segment. We actually do that. So let's make objectives. So let's make an actor. New blueprint, name an actor. So that's only BP. BP wave. No, not wave. Hold on. I get it. I get it. Jeez, why is my brain not functioning at 1,000% today? BP wave satellite. Dash flame. BP satellite battery flame, right? So we want to add, what is this? Is this a complex mesh? As a static, right? So we want to add a static mesh instance, and I would like to for my static mesh instance to be this. Oh, this is probably big. But yeah, change this pink. No, we have no pink. Okay, we have no pink. Okay, to this. Now we need a capsule component. Capsule collision. And put the mesh inside. Put the mesh inside the capsule collision. This, where is it? No, it should be a box collision. Yeah, box collision. Box collision. Change this to this. By that, by makes sense. Just by that, right? So with the box on event begin overlap, wanna cast to BP flame. Let's go flame. Good. This should be. This should be good. Yeah. What is it? How do I handle Flameshot's collision? Did I have help? But how? Flameshot's collision is done by what exactly? 10,000 is too much, guys. That is way too much. Ah, jeez, Ice Flame's so overpowered. He does that much damage? Must be able for me to limit it. There's a lot of damage, like a lot. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. And 1,000 is too small because it just insta kills it. So I think 100,000 is too much. I think 10,000. No, it's 100,000. 10,000. Ah, that was a very right number. 10,000. Maybe now. Ah, it wasn't working properly. That is why, because no way. There were 500. Getting hit. Okay, so 5,000 might be maybe enough. Hey, Christian, realistic gamer RPG guy. What's up? How you doing? Been seeing you around the channel lately. I think only one comment, but that's enough. That song is on, is it not? My wave say it is. You hear me? You hear me? My thing says it's running on the OBS. Yeah. Ah, okay. Thanks, Ernest. Wait, are you actually deaf? Are you actually deaf realistic gamer? Yes, you got that hot thing there. Ah, it's just wondering. And if you're relying on closed captions. Satellite check. One idea. We're gonna implement something crazy here. Thanks, man. Glad you enjoy. It's all about elevating the Christian creatives out there. I don't want to. Let's look up how I want to do it. Length is what we're looking for. Yes, that was. No. Yeah, that's good to know. Because recently was like when just looking back through all the videos and stuff, and it's like I'm glad people enjoy the the Christian comic review videos. Someone was like asking a lot for these for me to get back into doing the kind of like before. I don't know when you guys started watching your channel, if it's only after the Christian content reviews or when I used to do the Marvel style breakdown videos on like this is what this author said or this comic is literally just in the Bible and those kind of stuff. And I got frustrated doing those kind of videos in 2022 and just stopped doing that kind of content altogether and go straight on like just the Christian comic reviews. And someone was like asking in the comment section the other day on like, well, how come I haven't covered this show that well, it's all over my feed these days, Has Been Hotel. And it was asking that I think a month ago they were asking that like why I haven't covered it and they'd like to get my opinion on it. And I was just like, dude, I am much more interested in covering these Christian comics that I find, even like some of the niche ones and for the creatives, rather than just like continuously being like, oh, this thing has gone woke or Marvel has gone Marvel. You see how like this Marvel movie got bad reviews because it this and that or all that other stuff. It became a game of whack-a-mole. Older videos, I don't know if you guys ever saw those. But those older videos, like, it was. Things were crazy. Just became an unfruitful game. Whack-a-mole. 2 months ago. Christian should. Ah, yeah, thing. Yeah, so you definitely saw that set of videos. And I was telling him, like, for me personally with the channel, I more so want to like rather, because with stuff you would, especially with like where the world, the place that the world is at now, it will constantly be a game of whack-a-mole. Or just like new anime come out or new movie come out or should a Christian watch this, should a Christian watch that. And for me it's more so about giving people giving people the principle and not just giving them a list of like watch this anime or don't watch this anime or watch this show or don't watch this show. This show has this show has that. Is like for people to get to the point where their relationship with God is so strong and their discernment is that point where they don't even need to look up a YouTube video or whatnot to know if they should. It should just come as like second nature. Should come out like second nature. And as you go with the like current go with the channel is that. And then once folks have that precept, because then it's like the main reason why I got into like covering Christian comics was from just spending like I think a year or two. They were just older videos and sort by oldest. Uh, Yeah. So by all this, and it's like going through this, it's like he remains, and the Doctor Strange, and the time Spider-Man met God, where it literally had Bible verses in the panels, and God the God Butcher, and how the guy who made God the God Butcher, it wasn't like a jokey kind of film. It wasn't like just a joke on like, yeah, I'm an atheist and I don't like Christianity. You know, like he's one of those people that outrightly doesn't believe in God, but believes that people should hate God, kind of thing. And then, well, the Good Fight Ministries, Marvel, DC War on God. That is amongst the bombshells they drop inside of that those things. And then Marvel started with Kyron Gillen. He was like, "Yeah, I on my Walk-ins God era." Started literally dropping Bible verses inside of the comic books and stuff. It was like for me, actually, it was my breaking point. If you guys watch any of the podcasts, you would know. I said it in one of the podcasts. That was my breaking point. That was like, yeah, I fed up like my comics and those kind of stuff. I mean, the games I still play a lot of the games. I play Strike Force a lot recently, but the comic stuff has just been for me personally has fallen so far. And instead of like continuing to like make videos and complaining about it and stuff, is like why not elevate the solution? Everyone's talking about the problem, but no one's really talking about the solution. And find solutions. Remnant, Black Blossom, all of those. The parent thing for this is again rather annoying. Solution on the problem. So by solution, I'm referring to the problem. But first, to find a solution, you need to know what the problem is. And the problem was the direction that a lot of like current entertainment was going down, was like more so speeding towards, and I'm not talking about like the woke, quote unquote woke stuff. I think you guys will understand it. I'm not talking about that. I was more so my concern was more so about the path where authors were legit like stating like, yeah, we hate God, like with the exclamation mark. Folks like Karen Gillan, um the guy who did God, the God Butcher, Jason Aaron, and folks like that who was like their material was intention. It wasn't like just atheist, like just oh we're atheists, we don't care about the Bible. It was like no, like we atheists, but we hate God. So like a lot of the Marvel stuff, the entirety of Act Judgment Day the entire crossover from 2022, main crossover, was about that whole like usurping the Bible, and as you see here, literally putting verses into the comics and stuff. That was the problem. A lot of people were taking not just offense of it, but were like annoyed at it. It was like, why? I mean, like, things used to just be about people in spandex fighting villains and crime and whatnot. Why is this whole sort of thing and like trying to like usurp theology or getting more demonic? And is like, oh wait, no, these guys are not joking about these demonic stuff. They actually believe in this kind of stuff. It's no longer like it pushed past the barrier of fiction. And that was one of the main things. A lot of people who found the channel initially were like, yeah, I'm not on this whole. Because one of the main problems I had was that folks were either like over spiritualizing things or under spiritualizing it in a sense. So it was like, it had the camp who was like, bro, this is just fiction. Not this is like this is just fiction. There's nothing wrong with this. Or then you had the folks that was like, I don't own a TV because Satan invented television to eventually overtake the generations to come and usurp them from God. So you had two sides, two extreme sides of the spectrum. Folks that say that it don't matter if it's witchcraft, if it blaspheming God, if it whatever, it's just fiction and not real, it don't matter. And you have the folks in there that was like, fam, I don't own a TV, I don't watch Marvel, I don't go to the movies, I don't do any of that because everything that comes out of Hollywood or is fictional is evil with an exclamation mark. And you had two sides of the spectrum. And my goal initially with the channel was to like not to just hit the middle point, but hit the part that was connected to the Bible. Oh, like, all right, like, let me look at this from a biblical perspective, like an actual Christian, actual biblical perspective, not a Christian perspective, because some Christians have whack perspectives. I said it in one of the videos. So we go looking at this from a biblical perspective. That was actually an intentional thing, where like why the channel says well through biblical eyes and not Christian eyes, because some Christians have like some weird perspectives. And from there, it was like analyzing it from that perspective. I'm like, yeah, we know it's fiction, but for me, always look at the source behind the source material. So, like, yeah, Doctor Strange is based off of Doctor Strange is fictional. I do not believe that there's a magic wizard flying through space and time trying to mend, like, trying to stop some overload from a next dimension from trying to stop an overload in the next dimension from doing this. But the spells in Doctor Strange and things, the things that behind the spells in Doctor Strange, as Christians, we know that there's significance there. And then to hear the actual folks who make like thing, it was like, oh yeah, this is fiction based off of real things. Like example, Doctor Strange is based off of uh I think it was yeah, the character who Doctor Strange is based off of is an actual real life big like the guy who invent modern Satanism, Aleister Crowley. Like his appearance in the comics in 1970 was based off of that. And then when they brought him into the actual when they brought him into that was who Doctor Strange was initially based off of, and then they rework it and rework it, and then they add all the layers of fiction on top of it. So when we're looking at it from the top, like I always use the analogy on like you deal with it from the root, from the trunk of the tree, rather than the branches. When you're looking at the branches and suddenly seeing some like Doctor Strange and Christians making posts on this is demonic, like dude, this is like a wizard in a like this is a wizard operating out of New York in a fictional property. Like this is all fiction, but then there's like no. Look at the source behind the source material. The source material is fictional, but what is the source behind it? And then they started to realize that the first guys who think Doctor Strange, they literally lied, saying that they showed it to a pastor, and the pastor approved of it, and that's how they actually got the first Doctor Strange comic to be published. It's wild. It's wild. I actually skipped that clip. Here's my friend. I have the clip in this video. Skip to it, to new it, to skip to. Yeah. This clip right there.
was like, yo, listen.
Oh, so
These five.
Stanley did have some sense into.
So I did that part of like a reaction on my buddy because
Frank Brenner admitted
Wait.
when Marvel's Stan Lee, the executive vice president and publisher of Marvel Comics, read the wicked narrative that depicted the one true God, the creator, as evil, and worried about the public outcry over such an obvious attack on God, he demanded that the writer Steve Englehart and comic artist Frank Brenner do an immediate retraction. However, Brenner later acknowledged that he and Englehart flat out lied to Lee and wrote a fake fan letter from a fake minister praising the comic, trying to demonstrate to Lee that it would be acceptable to publicly condemn God. Frank Brenner admitted.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Pause. So they. Now you remember last night when I was like when we were just going over the trailer and thing, right? And I was just kicks in and stuff. We were saying like how imagine being the CEO of Marvel at the time, right? And getting this comic pitch to you and whatnot. I like, big man, that too dark, we can't put it out. They write the man a fake fan letter, right? A fake fan letter telling him, saying that they love the comic from a supposedly a Christian person.
Oh, so that was their
So
plan.
that's how that went down.
I was like, yo, listen.
Oh, so
These five.
Stanley did have some sense into seeing like, oh, this too controversial.
These 500 people that say they don't like it, no, don't say about them, and say about this one person. Damn.
When the book came out, Stan Lee finally got hold of it. And I don't know, somebody pointed it out or he read it and he wrote us a letter saying, we can't do God. You're going to have to print in the letters column a retraction saying that this is not the God. This is just a God. Steve and I said, oh, come on. This is the whole point of the story. If we did that retraction of God, this is meaningless. So Steve happened to be on his way to Texas for something. This is when we were in California and we cooked up this plot. We wrote a letter from a Reverend Billingsley in Texas, a fictional person, saying that one of the children in his parish brought him the comic book and he was astounded and thrilled by it. And he said, wow, this is the best comic book I've ever read. And we signed it, Reverend so-and-so, Austin, Texas. And when Steve was in Texas, he mailed the letter so it had the proper postmark. Then we got a phone call from Roy. And he said, hey, about that retraction, I'm going to send you a letter. And instead of the retraction, I want you to print this letter. And it was our letter. We printed our letter. It shouldn't be too much of a shock.
Wait.
These men out here plotting.
Wait. This is insane. So, I mean, I get the.
that is how Doctor Strange became mainstream in Marvel. The first couple comics, they were not like Stanley and they weren't gelling with it. But after this incident, they started to publish more Doctor Strange comics. And in this clip, I'm sorry for red pilling you guys too hard just into the information. There's my older videos from 2022 and be back because I haven't done any of these kind of videos since February last year because it was like it got frustrating for me to do. So she clips like
likely
this.
because folks were not ready for such blasphemy and seeing a sorcerer slit a priest's throat with the blood splattered all over the Bible.
There is no afterlife. And I can prove it to you. No one can prove such a thing. I can. Watch.
Notice that the book of Cagliostro is placed over the Bible, as though Satan's lies trump the word of God.
Wow.
In Marvel Cinematic...
Nah.
So, to answer your question, gamer, that is the problem. That is the problem. For me personally, some people watch it and be like, oh, it's all easy. Because I actually did one of the podcast installments, was reacting to forums, to what people said on a forum that I put out about like a year and a half ago. this one. Yeah, this. Which one it is? Yeah, this one. I look at themes in our favorite shows. I look at Christian themes in our favorite shows and movies. And on the forum, I asked them the question on do you think that that clip in particular is it blasphemous? And some people on the forum were like, no, not really, because he's a villain. And some people was like, yeah, it's highly blasphemous. And some people were like, I don't really think so. It's not really all that because he's the villain and we expect the villain to do those kind of villain things. But then we come around now to this, all right, so what about the heroes now saying out of pocket statements and is saying out of pocket statements. Let me get this one from I get a video thing because my Zoom not working properly on it. We yeah, we did this one, and then we get like, all right, so what about the villain saying out of pocket stuff now? No, what about like the actual heroes in hero dialogue saying out of pocket stuff?
Into do. I am the Pope of they are issue 5 doubles down on that clip.
Where did I put it?
You check out.
I think I put it in the, yeah, it should be in the tags of this video. Did I try to find that first video? Because I have so much. Oh, wait.
Number.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yes, you read the title correctly. Both Jesus and the Antichrist, according to Marvel Comics, are mutants. Immortal X-Men number 1 featured these two pages that caused some outrage across the internet. Let's take a read. Ahem. Would be honored if you would walk with me. There's a matter I would broach, Messiah. Please don't call me that. Whatever you wish. I can hear the gap at the end of your sentence. You're still calling me Messiah internally. I am a mutant of faith and have that faith in you, and you cannot prevent that. Your coming rekindled the fecundity of mutants. The Holy Spirit came upon you, the Phoenix. The burning space bird came upon me. There's no need to get religious. The Nazarene mutant inspired a church among the humans by raising a couple from the dead. I just watched you beat that in the last 5 minutes. And now you have given us an actual heaven. They don't like using that word. The waiting room is just a backup. Yes, which is a cowardly word for heaven. They don't like saying heaven as it scares them with its honesty. Enough of the accolade stuff and cut to the chase. What do you want from me? Many YouTubers and online comic book articles.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, my slogan for a while, because like my slogan for a while for the channel was "Don't blindly consume" when I first started. Because like when I first started to recognize it and read the Bible, I was like, wait, hold on, hold on, hold on. This Bible passage sounded rather familiar to Marvel thing I saw the other day, and I was like, wait, they take it from the Bible. And then when I did Immortal Hulk, I was like, wait, 10 of these comics starting 10 of these comics 10 of these comics literally started with a Bible verse. And then the whole resolution of it was one egregious twist of the book of Job. And then when I actually started finding interviews, I was like, oh, this isn't coincidence.
The man versus God concept, it's probably the fascination with the sublime. For instance, the parts of the Bible that interest me are those parts where God is an unknowable, capricious presence. The book of Job is a particular favorite. And the entire Immortal Hulk comic line just showcases how much of a favorite the book of Job is to Al Ewing, because it retells the entire story of Job through a Marvel lens with, of course, many biblical and Christian undertones and scripture flippings. Doctors saying, my God, oh God above, right before they are mauled by Sasquatch. Civilians saying the Our Father in a couple of circumstances, such as when the Avengers detonated a bomb on Hulk and killed him. Right before Abomination and Devil Hulk had a face-off where one of the ladies who was in the place when they started fighting started to say they were our father, ran out of the building and got shot in the head by a rogue group sent to take care of things when she was asking them if they came to help her. To that very same rogue group that shot the lady was then massacred by Betty Ross in a happy form while a dialogue about forgiveness is highlighted in the panels. The very first pages of issues number 2, 12, 25, 30, 36, 44, and 50 all start with a scripture verse quote, along with other issues featuring a quote surrounding religious topics. And we have the thing breaking down how the book of Job impacted him and explaining it to Joe Fixit. A full breakdown of the basis of the book of Job while mixing other elements from other beliefs into it and a ton of other stuff. So, it is not a case of nitpicking and over spiritualizing. Also, if you were taken aback by the term Devil Hulk, yes, one of the Hulks was labeled as Devil Hulk. So, it isn't a matter of my over spiritual Christian senses tingling either. In this video, I'm just going to be covering the events of the.
Yeah. So after like covering all those comics and stuff, I was like, God, I fed up. I fed up. I can't do no more. Me personally, I can't do no more. I can do no more. Especially Axe Judgment. That comic line, that was just flipping the Bible for flipping the Bible's sake. And then the funny thing about it is that, as you're saying about being like blindly or whatnot, I'm showing in the comic line how it's being, how like literally the Bible is being twisted. And I got into like, not really, I wouldn't really call it an argument, but like a back and forth discussion with somebody. And he was like, dude, I own this entire comic line and I read the entire thing. And not once did I see that this thing was being twisted. Like, nowhere did I see that this thing was being twisted. And the author himself says,
So before we get into this,
had questions about religion and the why of
listen to these.
and non-Christians are asking the authors about the like religious themes in the comic.
By the author himself, Kyron Gillan.
I don't think I'm too curious in the why of this, right? I think that's pretty innately interesting to me. Just anyone who's ever had questions about religion. But like so much as, okay, writing the celestial, writing the godlike, how do you do that in ways that don't feel too human? Like how do you get yourself in that mindset of doing that?
So, like, especially in the last couple of years, you can see the fact that I'm someone who's raised Catholic, and like really, I mean,
Sure.
Judgment Day is the most Catholic, hilariously Catholic crossover of all time. But like, also, as you say, it's like, are we worthwhile as a species? Or all that kind of stuff is absolutely key. And really, this is something I was asked, but like in reality, it's like, no, I was writing a deeply flawed God. Like I was writing something which was fit the at the end, he uses the theological argument: what is God? Like, all loving, all powerful, all knowing. They're kind of the three things that make a god, at least in that bit of theology. And it's clear that he isn't. In him being brought up to believe he's a god is a mistake.
Perhaps not a god at all, but I am certainly akin to a god in so many ways. A god is omniscient. I do remember where everything was before I tore it apart. A god is omnipotent. I can't put things back in place. So, am I a god? That would mean I am ineffable and my judgment is flawless. But you see, if I was truly omnipotent, I would be without limits. I am not clearly, I am no god. I can make mistakes. I make amends. I will put things as they were before judgment, whatever it costs me. I have given up everything to save everyone. You are my maker, Ajax. Am I a worthy god? No, she responds. You are correct. I ask of you, be better.
And the context for that, right? Oh, sorry, like, just go back down Beverly with this, right? The context for that, right? They up and decided that they always take aspects of the Bible and apply it to the, especially Marvel. They like to take aspects of the Bible and apply it to, like, villains or whatnot, right? It's usually like things like God's judgment or something like that. They take out all the salvation aspects about it and just like take this is evil or whatnot and apply it to it. And then they just took that aspect of it and then go on a whole thing on like recanting their religion that had very close very close aspects to Christianity, using Bible verses in their quote unquote fictional religion or whatnot, then going on a whole recanting their religion and everything is blasphemy. Like, there's one clip. This is a clip I'll also mine at. The truth about the Holy Scripture.
Accord. They devised a plan to abandon the traditional Eternal's way of life and move on the
If you guys ever want to hear me like actually rage in a video, it's very rare. This video actually was like fuming.
Accord. They devised a plan to sneak into Avengers Mountain so Aja can consult the ghost of the dead Celestial and get some answers. Eventually, things get violent and Aja beats the crap out of the Celestial, demanding answers and confirmation on the holy war she wants to wage. She gets all the answers that she wants, but when she receives them, she wishes she hit the Celestial harder. Issue 12 shows that she gets the full schematic scriptures. She has everything. I came in thinking the Celestials were disappointed in us. They wanted a holy war, some proof of loyalty. I came hoping we would find evidence that we should slaughter these heretical Avengers. I was wrong. This is all true. And there is no blasphemy in our false church. I spent 1,000,000 years following a religion that was no such thing. It was a way to brainwash us to do their duty. We are all living scripture, but that scripture itself is blasphemous. And it occurs to her, who judges the gods?
So from this point, from this here, from that right, on judging the gods, they decide to make a new god in their image, right? And in making the god, so it's so funny to say a comic is comical, right?
Iron Man is
Right?
made flesh, who will be their just God. Yes, comics is going there, and we are about to dive right in and break it down because no one is covering this from a Christian perspective, and there has been a greater outrage for what I would consider personally as less important topics. But I'm sure it is because a lot of the same prominent YouTubers
Let's see if I find him. Yeah, but here. Yeah.
from the comic panel in Axe Judgment Day issue number 2. Oh, you're one of the Eternals who are bad at subtext, right? Do not mistake my lack of levity with that of understanding. I refuse to make jokes at times such as this. I am saying that I know the most important part was the soul. We have made a God more like us. The scripture is key. Whatever this God is, it will be the Word made flesh. John 1 verse 14 says, "And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." A crucial part.
Right? And then in the previous issue, that's why like I put down Marvel comics and I've been only like reading Christian comics this year. Because it's been I try to find like more neutral, the non like cosmic side, but it's just like everything does end up getting roped into the whole cosmic side thing. It is. Right, the celestial dreaming. This that's my mind right there.
Celestial that came to
These last couple of
which is
shows.
now
I'm
the
gonna go back
base
to the
of
Kingdom.
Avengers. Along their journey, we learned that Makari became a prophet when a celestial spoke to her alone. The glorious dreaming celestial told her of a new covenant between eternal, deviant celestial and man. When the dreaming celestial truly return, they will all be free. Makari brought the Eternals the good news and told them to wait for this new age. Then a series of X-Men antagonists chopped up the Dreaming Celestial and used it for parts. Marvel Comics, for me as a Christian at this point of my walk in Christ, is like watching a train wreck. You don't want to stare, but you can't look away. With every new comic in the Judgment Day series, I tell myself, surely they cannot get worse than calling Jesus a mutant. Then Marvel's like, hold my beer, go check out all the comic books because we've been doing worse since forever. This is literally Esther Blasphemous Bible rendition. The official subtext / secondary title of the comic is a pilgrim's complete lack of progress. You guys understand understand the significance of that? That is literally, can't say the word,
Because
of the narrative is considered one of towards the Bible, God, and everything, to the Pilgrim Progress, which is considered one of the greatest Christian allegories written by John Bunyan. It is regarded as one of the most significant works of theological fiction in English literature and a progenitor of the narrative aspect of Christian media. In the future, I would be
because they named that comic, and like the whole thing, like for me, like that's beyond is. Oh jeez, like I need that again. But for me, that part is like beyond it just being fiction. To intentionally name your book yeah, that book is literally what inspired all the current, or when I mean current, even the ones before, was the ones before who John Bunyan. That's a book from I think the 1600s. That is it inspired, I believe, C.S. Lewis and Tolkien and all of them. And to go and name your, well, if you know what the movie is, to then go and name your thing where you've recanted the fictional god of Pilgrim's complete lack of progress while quoting Bible verses throughout the entire comic and comic run, it was like, give me a break. And that is the problem and the solution. Rather than continuing to just point it out and be like, and just like keep playing whack-a-mole every month on, oh, this is a new in thing when it comes to how blasphemous we can make the comics and thing, is more so about providing solutions. The Christian creators and they that actually make it edifying comics, edifying and entertaining comics, and games and media and fictional projects and stuff that actually are worth the while, rather than watching those things and then being like, look how they just twisting you with the God and the Bible and stuff. For me, that is the solution to that problem. Rather than like turning away and running away from entertainment and stuff, is to stand 10 toes down, use the talents that God has given us, and make edifying stuff. Oh, Ernest, that that is an intentional flip of this thing, of the Genesis account. The backstory behind the Celestials is an intentional flip of the Genesis account, where instead of is flip of the Genesis account and Revelations 12, where that scripture where it talks about the final battle against the dragon, which we know in context is Satan. Instead of Jesus and the angels winning that battle, Satan and hell wins the battle, cast God out of the universe, and then they go on to create life in the universe and whatnot. That is literally what the Celestials from Marvel, that's literally what the origin story is about. And the crazy thing about it is that when I first used to read the Celestia comic, I didn't know Revelation. So I honestly used to think that the Celestials and whatnot, in essence, represented like God, like an allegorical thing for God. Until I actually went to Christian seminary and I heard like studying Revelation, and then I went back to it and I rewatched it and reread it. I was like, wait, no, this is not honoring God. This is doing the complete opposite of honoring God. If you want to check out that video, that's like my second video on the channel. That's like my first video I think second video on the channel. To me, that's my second video on the channel. Yeah, the Marvel creation story from Eternals explained from a Christian perspective. Like a literal biblical level response, yeah. That's the goal. Do what God has called us to do. This video in this when you filter the channel from oldest, that was my second video that I upload. The Marvel creation story. Because their creation story is literally flipping the Bible. Anyway, guys, let's continue. Let me get this thing on. This is destroyed. What I'm doing, because I think I've been just like coding and stuff in silence for the longest while. What I'm doing at the moment, reminding me of the book of Jonah, where God shows Jonah a life lesson through a personal example, so he can learn to understand himself through first-hand account. Yep. I don't like, but just make sure to like put a disclaimer so that people don't get the wrong connotation. I am not against going to watch movies and watching the stuff like that, like especially like the non-blasphemy kind of stuff. Like the other day, I binged Young Justice seasons 1 and 2 the other day, or like until like 2 a.m. in the morning or whatnot. I know people have the anime and whatnot. My thing is just like be led by conviction and what the word of God says. Especially in context to have no part of darkness. That's my main drive and advice. Game is that what I'm working on now, or but to load up my to check to make sure that the check knows. Where is the checker? We need to put the checker on map. Oh well, so this is based. What I'm working on here is based on the events of a comic that I cover. One of my favorite comics called. Oh, where I have that. 1 second. In thought and code. Checker. This one should be linked to satellite B, and this one should be this satellite. 1 second, everybody. The pin dot. Right, yeah. So this game I'm putting together is based off a Christian comic called Parables of the Remnant issue. Is it right here? This is my like little game design document that I put together, just to like know what my scope is and stuff. So based off of one of the Christian series that I cover called Remnant, has 20 issues. We're 20 issues deep into the series, and this particular comic is about a mission on this husband and wife duo on the team. They were sent out to take down the reactor for this AI system that is in cohorts with the Antichrist. This AI system called Robotron. This AI system called Robotron that is in cohorts with the Antichrist, and it was a covert mission, still on a secluded island, and they flew in, gathered intel, do the reconnaissance. Yeah, didn't find any other panels. I think we're missing a panel. Yeah, but they flew in, got reconnaissance, make the like fight through the hordes of the sentries that are on the island, and throughout the journey, the husband of the duo got shot, and he didn't die because he has a healing factor, but he got shot and he got put down for a while. So in coming down to the end of it, it was mainly the wife who took down the reactor. And then the funny thing that I really like about this comic is she told him to stay in the cave to not slow her down. So while she's like running out into danger or whatnot, he's like in the cave, like praying for his wife. You can get the I think we can get the comic reel. Remnant Parables 4. Yeah. So I am making a small scale video game because my ultimate dream is to get into game development. Well, do proper game development, Christian game development. I have my own because I have so much projects. I have my own Christian video game in the works that I plan to publish this year, 2024, for Christmas. I actually shared it in our community Discord, and one of the guys from the community Discord like came up with an idea to do like a in one of the Remnant videos a while back. There's a tier in the Remnant crowdfunding where they would give you, if you support $100 during any of the crowdfunding tiers, they would give you the opportunity to create your own character. And put it in. What system? PC? Yeah, because as a small indie dev, PC is the easiest to get your game out on to. I ain't limiting God. I ain't saying like we might get it on to PS4, but like just thinking realistically, planning from a realistic perspective, just doing PC for now, and then like my future games, I would look to set up a studio and then go through certification with console and go through certification with console, and then hopefully get it on like all current gen consoles. The indie video, I just like blurted out that it would be cool to like have my own.
That has been adopted by the Remnant is the option to get your own unique character created and envisioned in the Remnant universe when you buy the $100 or the $150 tiers in the crowdfunding campaign. Which your character will get listed as a Tribulation Task Force ally, which are featured on the last page of the Secret File books. Which one day I want to get a character in the Remnant universe. I mean, think about it. Armor of God, a kind of Clone Wars squadron, because it's not just me, on Xplanations something, where our logo for that Secret Task Force is the Xplanations logo with the trigger, with the hit, with crosshair, cross inside, running wrong, fighting with Grok and
So I said that just like as I said that as a joke in the video, just kicking around, and the guy took it and he made an entire concept art off of the what I was describing in the what I was describing in the moment. I started doing like and was suggesting that I could use it for like a channel mascot for this year. And but from just looking at it and like falling in love with the concept that he put together, it became an entire praying on it. Seeking Godly Counsel became a video game idea. Yeah. So he just like sent me this. The name of the game, this is not connected to the Remnant thing. The name of the game is right now is just named Robotron Fortress. Because the name of the enemy they're fighting against is Robotron and they're taking on his fortress. So that's brainstorming and name it Robotron Fortress. Eventually I might change the name of the game. The one I'm working on. This is just a portfolio game. We're just gonna put it on something like itch.io for people to free download and could run it and play it. He sent me this like little piece of concept, just like sketch that he put together. Robotron Fortress, yeah, that's the name of it. That's not the one that's going to Steam. Because we're talking about 2 games here. The one that I'm working on right now, this is just like a passion project. This one is Robotron Fortress, and then the one that I plan to release at the end of the year on Steam is called Intercession. Name of that is called Intercession. I even did like a little Photoshop. I have some Photoshop skills. Yeah, I think I put it in the game chat. The chat in the Discord. Yeah, even did like a Photoshop Steam page for it. Yeah, put together a Photoshop Steam page. Or like just like piecing together the cards. It's not actually on Steam right now. It'll be on Steam later in the year. But I just worked it did like a Photoshop, cut out the like people's images, used in spec element, change the text to what the game gonna look like at the end of the year. Actually, I have a beta build of it. And the goal of the first because it's one of those things, I don't know if you know, well, you're realistic Christian realistic gamer RPG guys. I think you'll know games like Shovel Knight. That is how he did his release method of like set 1 or 2 like DLCs after that continues the story. That's how I plan to do with it. Because I want to do just first game, keeping it relative scope, not gonna do no multiplayer, no like big MMO survival. This is just strictly linear progression. Don't know if you know Jack and Dexter. That's one of my inspirations for like how the first Jack and Dexter the Precursor Legacy. I don't know if you know that game is an old school PS4 game. That is how the old school PS1 PS1? Yeah, I think it no PS2. PS2. It's an old school PS2 game. Platinum all 3 of the Jack and Dexter games. But the way how that game is like strictly linear where all the environments flow into each other, that is my goal for my first game. Aiming for simple combat. Actually, let me actually run it for you guys. Actually run that. I think you guys might like that. Because I actually finished my first prototype build of it. Where is it? Yeah. It launched bad. Hold on. It did not launch correctly if I could. Hold on, we're gonna die, but right, nice. So that way this should launch properly. It because I have an ultra wide, so it like I do my whole little like game. When like Dark Souls, yeah. But you never like the code framework that I use for it is a soul. I don't really, not really gonna be it's not gonna be a Souls like. I'm more like the extreme hack and slash games and there. So that is the more framework that I'm going for. More like the God of War kind of no stamina bar but ability style games. That is what this one gonna be like. Oh, that was loud. So I have a shield throw. Right now, this is the like you are completely broken seasoned spiritual warrior build. Yeah, you have your roll, you have your dodge, you have the target lock-on system. You can switch between the two. This is like gray box on something. And then I have like the particle where they fade into the thing. Get on smooth, wait till you see the boss. Nice where all smoothness goes out the window. Wait till you start to dance on my head just now. But it's I pressed too much buttons just now. Yeah, right now I do like right now I do a lot of damage. I touched started to do a lot of damage because I was getting beaten by him for like till like 2 in the morning by my own code, and I was just like, nope, I'm tired. And I have a cool because it is like it's based on spiritual warfare, like strictly intercession. I think that might be really loud. You can kill him quick. Then I have like a funny surprise when he dies. That catch one of my friends off guard. But he dies and then it spawns like a bunch of minions. Yeah, more like Star Wars, yeah, correct. That kind of combat system is like, that is rather long. I mean, the minions and they broke completely. They will usually just like start running to you and attack you. But yeah. So, and the only way to close the game is Alt F4 because I don't have an escape key set or anything. No escape key or anything set. But yeah, and I put together like framework of what I aiming for. It is based off of Christian spiritual warfare, and with the games I think I do, I want to do games because like my target audience with explanations and everything is actually Christians. Christians like myself. The target demographic of explanations is Christian, like niche down target demographic. It's Christian males between the ages of 16 to 30 that are big Marvel fans and nerds that are on their walk with Christ and getting that hard conviction when they hear clips like that earlier on, like Doctor Strange is actually like based off of this actual demonic thing, or like they're watching things and they feel convicted towards it. That is the target demographic of the Explanations audience. And it just so turned out that 95% of the folks who watch the Explanations channel are males between the age of 18 to between the age of 14 to 34, I believe was the demographic. But majority of it, 40% of them, majority of the demographic is between that 18 to 24 age range. So the games that I'm making is more so not really like to teach people the Bible or anything, but it's like how the comics and the that we play are. I'm a 32-year-old man. Yeah, nice. See, so I hit the target demographic. And the games that I'm making is more so for that. So it's not like, because like, I think we all see certain Christian games. And it's usually like now, like with actually catching up to the technology, a lot of them teach people the Bible kind of things, like repackaging the gospel, like Bible X, Bible X, or this next one of 500, or all those games. It's always like the perspective of teaching people the Bible and bringing them into like giving them story of Christ. But for me, I know the story of Christ. You guys know the story of Christ. I mean, we save, we have salvation, and it's like, and sometimes I feel weird to say it because it's like some people get the wrong connotation. But it's like I want things to make something that resonates with folks who like read through Isaiah or like going probably this like the 4 times through the Bible, have an entire like 3 book commentary, doing personal commentary of like chapter by chapter, like I do and stuff like that. And it's like things for those things for like that demographic. That's my target demographic for the games I think that I make. Rather than like something that is like teach people the gospel, no, I am hitting for the people and they who know the gospel and want edifying entertainment. Entertainment that isn't cheesy and trying to preach to them, but just like no, like you're fighting in a spiritual warfare setting. It's like my dream game is action RPG, kind of like a talking a bit. Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's like a dream game is like a full-fledged Destiny base, it's like Destiny style. Not what is that? I think Destiny is like I really like the Destiny framework. I played a lot of Destiny, but where I actually like break down, where it's fully spiritual warfare based. The best way I like to describe it is for me personally is a fictional take on this is what happens when Christians pray. This is what happens in the spiritual world when Christians pray. A fictional take where it's set within that. So an illustration of how this will work is, let's say in one of the stories, a group of Christians are praying against the oppression of demonic entities in the community. They're ready to discern the works of the presence of these entities and have received confirmation and divine insight by God that then they would start to pray about it in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm, and like in the game you would see that is wherever you play a character or whatnot praying in the physical realm. But in the spiritual realm, you'll see the spirit man of each person currently praying, equipped with the armor of God and weapons of light moving together. Have you ever? No, that's a game I want to play. It's actually a game I want to play. It's been recommended to me a while. I want to check it out. And they're moving together as a militant force, fighting and taking down the demonic forces they are praying against. And the best visualization for me of this as a proof of concept is the Halo 5 the Halo 5 opening clip. I just play a little snippet of it so you guys get the understanding. It's like a I mean, like, for last time, it is not how you just feel during, like, a family devotional or something like that as a Christian. When everyone's touching and agreeing in prayer. I mean, that's the context of, like, the fictional take that I've taken with the games and they are developing. But, like, the dream games on it that I want to develop. And from that, I have, like, an entire list of and the abilities and stuff going to be based on things, events from the Bible and events and passages from the Bible, and actually have like a full out how much like we have 56 abilities based off of so far based off of verses in the Bible pulling from verses in the Bible and translating those into like an actual gameplay system kind of gameplay system abilities. The ones that have like Shofar Rally, when activated, player would summon a Shofar that would make a loud song. This ability debuffs all enemies and empowers all allies in the sense of resistance and offense. Then Trumpet of the Lord, when activated, all enemies in an area will flee away from the player for 5 seconds. During this period, any damage done to enemies affected by this ability will do 4x damage. And then Fire and Brimstone based on Genesis 1924, and then the Lord Shrink. And it's like, I'm a very visual person when I'm doing, because like my counterpartist was laughing at it because I'm currently in the process of piecing together a comic. The same guy who did the intercession, who did the main character artwork for intercession, he was like, dude, I am reading through the thing, and at first I was like, if this is a comic where there's so much like gifs and things, I use a lot of gifs to demonstrate what my like ideas and stuff is, even a piecing together a comic. And it's like there's a lot of gifs and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I visualize what I'm thinking. I try to visualize what I'm thinking to the best way possible. I think this is a cool concept you guys might like too. Is you scroll down, is throughout the game. So this game is the intercession is based off of first one is talking about overcoming deception. That is where, because that's a place I am currently at, where place I am at personally in my life on overcoming deception, and the game is like a journey on overcoming deception. So everything throughout it is linked to the theme of overcoming deception. So I split it into planning on like a 4 to something between a 4 to 8 hours. It's an indie game, so like 4 to 8 hour playthrough. If you like just speed run and skip cutscenes, so that more long. And if you like play it out, final collectibles, something like 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that. Simple $10 indie game. And it will be splitting it down into 10 acts. Interesting deception, yeah. Splitting it down into 10 acts, and each act is like linked to a theme in scripture. And one of the themes is wolves in sheep clothing. And we put together this concept artwork. We put together the concept artwork on like how that section would thing. So initially we were starting like thinking on how we would do this wolf in sheep clothing. Would it be this would it be this, how would we make the wolf in sheep clothing look? And at first we were thinking like I'd probably like take like a werewolf kind of look. So then he started like just concepting this werewolf thing, and then I was like, no, I don't really werewolf. I don't really want to do a werewolf. I want to, because I find that would look weird. I want to do something more like an actual wolf, if that makes sense. And the reference I used was actually the size of Twilight wolves. And then he came up with an idea where what if we stitch the like do a wolf, but stitch a sheep half of the body would be a stitched on sheep clothing. Yeah, sheep face stitched on to the side. And then after he said this, I was like, yeah, bro, you're cooking with this. Send me an image of like a sheep over the thing. Is that mini game that I watched recently? Job Christian 3 is finally here. John Christian 3. Oh, is that a game? I know he memed on games like I Am Jesus Christ a lot. That game, games like that is like a okay then. Apparently, yeah. And that's the thing, cause like there's a funny thing I always talk about as well, like mentioning in creative space. If you are marketing your game as a first ever Christian game or something like that, it just shows that you have no like idea of the space you're trying to get into or whatnot. And then like making it extra cheesy and extra campy. So on the theme of like this is brainstorming on the theme of like wolves in sheep clothing, one of the sections will be like into this meadow. And then in the meadow they'll have the mixture of the wolves and sheep clothing among it. Should spiritual warfare that you to overcome made janky, but it showed me an interesting approach. Oh, that's cool. John Christian 3. I'll check it out. Definitely check it out. Because I've been searching for like another Christian spiritual warfare game to see like how they did it or like what approach or whatnot. and I haven't been able to find any in my searches other than like old roguelike stuff. There are a couple of old roguelikes I saw. But not really roguelikes, I mean old 2D games. Finish this off. Do. Where was this? Right. So connecting this. Satellite 1, 2. Right. That's the satellite check, and this one. So this one explodes this satellite, and that one explodes that satellite. This should be some set this to 200. What should happen is if we destroy that, did it destroy a satellite? No, that's not how that should be. Every satellite thing equals 0. Is that greater than or less than? Hold on. I think that's greater than. Yeah, whoops. Whoopsie daisies, it should be less than. Adams Venture Origin. I'll check that out. Because last week's podcast was actually, I think week before podcast was actually like compiling games, Christian games and stuff that I think are like worth checking out. And I realized that I put a lot of things, end up putting a good amount of things on that list. Yeah. Comics and games that we're checking out. That I believe are worth checking out. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 comic book series that I believe are worth checking out or like have been recommended to me. That some I have not reviewed and some I have reviewed. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 games that I think I would check out. And yes, the last one is a bit of a self-insert. This is my Fortnite game that I made called Fight the Good Fight. That is available to play in Fortnite for free. Yeah, a bit of a self-insert. They're wrong to put myself on my own list. I don't know. I think I'm judging myself harder than people judge me for that. Okay, so if we destroy this, one down, destroy this. It's 2 down. Less than, I think it should be less than or equal to 0. Deeply religious, yeah. It should be less than or equal to 0. No, I think I know why. Because satellite, satellite battery, destroy. Right. Interessante. Never seen two satellites. Oh wait, no, that's supposed to be deleted. Oh, that's cool. I'll check it out. Alright, man. That's cool. Gotta go. What it was cool seeing this good. Bible lesson if you. Yeah, every Sunday around this time. Thanks for the recommendations as well. And thanks a lot for just tuning in. I've been spending satellites wrong. Like, shall fix it eventually. Alright, Ernest, thank you for tuning in as always, bro. Later. Yeah, I'm actually in this room just now. Need to get this destruction thing working. Yeah, man, for sure. This ain't a one-man journey.
Intruder alert. 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 Intruder alert.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I got all that I wanted to code tonight done, so that's it for tonight's stream.